It's beginning of work week, America. Welcome to episode. Nita, hi.
Hi, girls.
How was everyone's weekend?
Yeah, eye-opening.
It was a balmy 80-something degrees yesterday, and I was by the poolside for my cousin. I got to give a shout-out to my cousin, Kelly. It was her birthday yesterday, and so we were hanging by the poolside, having cocktails and eating salad and pizza.
Looking young, Kelly. Looking young.
54 and looking like
5.4
easily.
Right? She's goals, man. That's why she keeps me on my toes and keeps me in my workout frame of mind, because next year I want to be. I gotta come with the realness.
I had
April.
A nice meeting. Like five people that I went to school with, college with. Met at my friend's house. We were all in the same class. One came in from the Bay. One came in from Chicago. One came in from back east. And we're old men now. We're like middle-aged old men, which is nothing wrong with that. But it was good to see them. You know what I mean? It's it's nice to have friendships
that last that long.
34 years. You know what I mean?
Hey, look at Shahida and I. Let's see.
Oh,
awesome!
Yeah. So, what did the old
now, are they all single, married?
Married, 19 years with this woman, and newly divorced, and single, of course.
Forever single, or
let's
talk about
not in trouble. Forever single, or what?
Single. So the pros and cons of being single at 53.
I'd like to hear that from a man's point of view.
From a man's point of view. I can save my money.
Yeah.
And single and no kids. I'm sorry. Single and no kids. Because kids are fucking expensive. I cannot, in Los Angeles, just to get your kid in a decent school, I'm talking first grade. Yeah. First grade, you need $45,000 a year through high school, and then you're looking at by the time they get to high school, now it's $90,000 a year for 4 years. You're looking at $400,000 when they graduate, plus $45,000. This is just schooling, not clothing, not food, not all that. Kids are, I don't know what expensive.
Imagine, and that's for one kid. Now imagine having 4
or 3. Like, I moved from Boston because my kids were going to St. Joseph's, and I was just like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to afford too much more of this, of this private school." So I moved to a town that had like an excellent rating for public schools, because I knew I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it and then have a house and other things as well.
Parents and the parents of kids who are just making it work. I don't know how I would have made it work raising 1, 2, or 3 kids. I don't know how I would have done
it. You probably wouldn't. Really hard.
I would have seen 52 countries. I can tell you that much.
Nope.
No, you wouldn't. And that magnificent courtyard would be 2 and 3 bedrooms.
They get older. Because if you're any type of parent, usually I'm always amazed at parents who say, once my kid is 18, they're on their own. How?
Right.
How?
Not these kids today.
How?
Right.
You have to support them until they are able to support themselves. And that might be 25, 26 years old. They stay on the health insurance until they're 26.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that there is a uncle aunt tax that you pay, which is fine. There's a tax, you're like, oh, well, I don't have any kids. Let me just pay for this and give them this, because not that the parents can't afford it or this and the other, but there's an obligation of an uncle tax or
and an auntie, because Katanya,
I was the auntie. I was the video game queen auntie. Like every Christmas, when my nephews were kids, it was like, oh, I'll get them the Nintendo 64 or the Sega Genesis. Or if my brother got it, I'd be like, well, I'm going to get them like a bunch of games and shit. Because them shits is like $35, $45 a piece. And I'd bring like a bunch and give it to him and stuff. So yeah, but I wasn't the extreme auntie though. Cause I mean,
I have never bought a game system or a game.
Oh, I used to get the game system.
That has been gifts from other people like aunties. And
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Never bought.
You got, okay, well, I gotta, but your kids are expensive.
Okay. Other than the kids, what are the pros for you?
Well, the pros are you get to sleep.
You get to do whatever the fuck you want, just like that meme you sent us. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. That's the pros. I have no schedule. Like my schedule is my job. That's it. That's all that's in my calendar is work shit. Other than that, weekends, evenings, even during the day when I'm not on site, what the fuck am I going to do? If I want to lay in bed until 10 o'clock in the morning and, watch my DVR shows, I can do that. If I want to get up and eat like a slice of pizza for breakfast, I can do that rather than, pouring some Cheerios and making a well-balanced breakfast for children.
And I also have 100% of my brain I'm able to use for me selfishly. As a mother or
That's
a father, you have at least 15%. If it's even if it's just on running mode, you know what I mean? Like how your computer is always on a running mode no matter what, and it's processing, even you're not doing anything. 15% of your brain is automatically plugged into a child.
When you're younger, it's more than 15%.
Yeah.
15% is you.
Right.
So
exactly.
I get that part.
And be able to function and work and do all kinds. But then again, as I said, I think that if I had a wife and kids, I would be much further in my career because I would have had to be more further in my career, had to hustle, had to push myself, had to, be creative, whatever, to get to the point where I could take care of 2 Rugrats at $90,000 a year. I can't even wrap my head around.
That's outrageous.
School in Los Angeles is $35,000 to $45,000 for a first grader.
I believe it.
With you being in Los Angeles, like if I was like in a different neighborhood, I would feel the pressure. Like if I lived in Barrington, which is like a really ritzy town in Rhode Island. If I lived there, I probably would feel the pressure to have my kids at like, an elite private school.
Right.
Because all of my friends would want that. So I can imagine being in Los Angeles.
And the schools are not that good. The public schools not that great. So
I was going to say LA. Last I heard, LA public schools aren't that great.
That's not a necessity. This is not out of like, I want to be. No, this is out of, if you want your child to be educated, it's hard to put them in. There's certain school districts here you'd have to move to, but like when growing up, I grew up in New York, and our public school system, my parents, is one of the top 15 in the country. So our high school was all public school, but their property taxes are like, my mom's like $15,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
15. I mean, it's expensive, but you're paying at least that's not as bad as $45,000 on top of your property taxes here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just want to give a shout out and a congratulations to all those parents and especially single parents who
you're like, God damn it, this is pain.
You have managed to, woo. And that's another reason why I was like, I gave myself till 50 to have kids.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna be too tired. I said, I'm gonna be too. There's no way I'm gonna catch a 3-year-old. Like, don't make me get up. Do not make me get out of this. I don't even know if I can. I don't know if I can get out of the chair.
Fast enough. You'd be like,
or you could be like Tony Randall from The Odd Couple. He had a kid when he was like
70.
what, 80? Or was he 70 or 80?
Yes.
Yeah, he married a really young woman. Like she was in her 20s, like late 20s. I don't think it was his first child, but it was his.
Tony was putting it down at 70. You know, he was like, yeah.
Tony was laying down pipe, man, at 70 something years old. He had a baby.
She was securing the bag when she said, "Let's have a baby," and he knew he didn't have to do anything afterwards. What's he gonna do?
Right.
He had
I feel bad for kids. Like my friend he had twin girls he was 48, and these girls 47.
Mm-hmm.
And these men being tired and exhausted and always having the responsibility, that's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
So I gave myself to 50, and then after that, I was like, well, I guess I ain't having any kids. You know, so it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I can imagine being I look at a couple of my friends have reached 50, women actually reached 50 and decided to have children after 50.
No, I'm good.
And they were like, that's what I'm saying, which I'm shocked that they were able to, go ahead and have like without IVF or anything. Just
did they do it?
Yeah, they did it.
The surrogate? Did they have a surrogate?
No. One couple had IVF, so she went that way. The other one didn't have to have IVF. She just
happened.
Birth control and said, and had 2 children. So one at 50 and one at 52.
Fertile Myrtle.
Right? Damn.
One at 52.
I couldn't even fathom. I couldn't even imagine.
It's like an old avocado.
Getting pregnant at 53.
Overripe. When like and throw the cut out the brown part of the avocado. Yeah, usually you start with a nice ripe avocado. It's all green, and the thing comes right out. It doesn't make any.
Yes.
Now you cut it all mushy. You gotta get the pit just falls out and shit. You gotta take all the avocado off the pit and put it aside, and then you got three quarters of avocado because half of it is black, and and it's all crusted in there. So avocados like this. It's like this. You gonna eat me, please? You gonna eat me? Like, yeah,
just like this.
Avocado egg.
It's gotta go.
That's friends.
Woo! Hey,
I couldn't do it, but I think the reason why I couldn't do it is because I already had children. So I'm like, there's no way. They're just too exhausting.
Well, Janet Jackson. I mean, look at Janet.
I know.
Didn't Janet have a baby at like 52, 53?
Yeah, someone had a baby too. Had older lady. Oh, Brigitte Nielsen had a baby.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then didn't Halle Berry like have her second child at she was damn near 50.
Yeah, she was. She was pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Boy.
Brigitte Nielsen, and it comes up baby.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Did she? Who she have that baby?
54.
Frida.
She carried it herself.
50. Oh no, more than a decade of failed in vitro.
Okay.
And fertilization attempts. The couple who celebrated their 16th wedding anniversary been told they only had a 2.5% chance of success, but they gave birth at 54, so she did it.
Wow.
There's no embryos left. Somebody had to win the lottery. Has to win the lottery. So 2.5%. Old avocado egg looking.
I'm like, what would I do if I got pregnant at 53 when I haven't gone through menopause yet?
I know. Think about it. Just think about it. What would you do? Like, imagine you going, like, you just, you having your fun, and then all of a sudden you're like, what is going on?
Because I'd be too embarrassed. I'd be like, Shahida 9 months later.
I don't know if that would be embarrassing per se, because it's like, girl, you still got it. But damn.
No, I would
Shahida moved to Alaska for like 8 or 9 years.
I know. I'd be like, Chris, she ain't texting me.
Like, I'm going to.
I'd be like, don't we have? Ain't we recording tonight? I'll be like, Chris, I ain't heard from Shahida in a minute. Bitch just up and disappeared.
I would be
the thing about having kids after 50 or late is I wanted to be the type of father. I thought I was gonna have kids when I was younger, but I want to be the type of father to play with my kid. Like, I'm active, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to wrestle them and play with them and get them tired and all that kind of stuff. If I was 30, 35, I can't. I'll give you a good.
Chris, you are in such good shape.
I was going to say, you're active and you're in shape. You could do it.
You could.
Give you a good 15 minutes.
See, I think it's like.
Wow. And then I
see you walking Prince and playing around with Prince.
In good shape. You would.
I will be.
That would be. That's your mental block, because that's definitely.
Come get this kid. Come get this child, please. Get away from me. Get away from me. What? I'm not.
They'd be like, but Dad,
I'm not your father.
Oh my God.
When my kids were little, when my kids were like in middle school, I used to be like, don't call me Mom in the street, call me Miss Ali.
No, you didn't.
They'd be like, Mom, Miss Ali, Miss Ali.
That's funny. That is funny.
It is straight. But I'd be just too exhausted. And also, you figure you have no retirement. I mean, if you're supposed to retire at 65 and your kid is 14.
Oh, yeah. You'd be working forever, Chris. You have a baby now. You kiss it, now you'd be at Walmart. Welcome to Walmart. How may I help you? I know I would.
You got a cool ass job. It's not like me having to work forever.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be working till I'm dead. They're gonna have to carry me out.
I could not imagine that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then again, on the other side, it's like, you always go, I wonder what my kids would have been like. Would they look like me? Because my nephew looks and acts just like his father. I mean,
really?
I wanted to see what it would look like to see me, a mini me, like do the things that I do, that, like, laugh the same, that's the kind of thing that's
that. I think I agree with you on that one. That's a regret, as far as like, I would have loved to have, had like a little mini me walking around. Would they be, would they be sassy, or would they be like, whose personality would they take over, And then and on top of what would they become, like you look at your kids and they're all adults now, and like your nieces and nephews, Chris, they're all adults, and you see like what they've become, and it's like, wow, that must be really cool as a parent to see how your children from birth and childhood to like what they're doing now.
They should do that at Disneyland. They should have that at Disneyland, because I'll go to pay $200 at Disneyland and go, what's it like to be on the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars? Oh, this is great. And then you get off it, you go home. What's it like? Because in one of my favorite movies called Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks.
I remember that movie.
I've never seen that. I have to watch that.
And they had a past lives pavilion, because they're in like a limbo purgatory. They have a past lives pavilion, and you can go put your hand on the thing, and you can see all the past lives you had.
Mm-hmm.
And Meryl Streep was like, Prince Valiant, and like all these type of things. And then they turn to Albert Brooks, and he's like, ooh! He's running away from a lion. He's like, ah! And they go to another guy, an old 60-year-old fat white guy, and he goes, hello, Mumsy. Could I have some more tea? He's like, what the hell is this? But you could do that with kids. Funny. You'd be like, oh, this is what your kid would be like.
What it's gonna be like.
I hate you. Show them at 15 at the bad. Some all the bad instances.
Only certain kids are allowed to say stuff like that.
You can. Right.
Yep.
You can choose how bad you want to see the kid, or how
that's hilarious.
Like you hold up the baby and the baby shits all over you. At 2, 3, one ruined. you come in and the baby has, or the 3-year-old has paint all over the walls and everything, or
I've
lipstick.
seen like some Instagrams where they got it on the couch. It's like
everywhere.
Did you guys see the video of, I think I sent that to you guys. Remember the father comes, the daughter's in the kitchen. She painted the dog. She painted the refrigerator, the floors, the wall.
Yeah,
and she gave zero fucks. Like when the dad comes in with the groceries and he's like, oh, he was having a meltdown. And she's just like, yeah, okay, let me keep painting. And the poor dog's walking like, get me out of this shit. Like, get this great gate away and let me out. Too. Yes, she did.
Like in the corner. I'm like, what? Wait, how long did it take you to go get the groceries, sir? Why was this child left?
Yeah, that's kind of questionable too.
That made no sense.
So it could have been a video setup. Who knows? You know, people will just do anything these days for likes.
Could have been
it's social media. You gotta put yourself out there, and sometimes it's not in the best light. And that brings me to our girl Chrissy Teigen. Did you all see her apology?
I didn't see. So what did the apology say?
Basically, that and it was long, but basically to sum it up, it was her apologizing and realizing how she attacked women, children, but as late as like 2013. And people really got on her like a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, and they really came for her hard. And she said she just had to take a break because that shit hurt her feelings, but she knows that she's wrong.
Well, wait, were they pulling like her old tweets and showing them? Because I missed all of that. All
the receipts on her. Who is recording?
Who's scrolling back and recording tweets and like screenshots and all that kind of stuff?
People do it. I like when people pull up. Remember when you said X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, do they save them somewhere or something? Because I'm not that savvy, and I'm also not that interested in any kind of like
to go back 4, 5, 6, 7 years
just to find some like what happened to me with the post I put back in February came out in May.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's still out there, they could just scroll and scroll.
But why would you? Unless it's somebody that, it's a slow news day and you're just like, well, let's go see, I'm on their site and let's just go see what they said, 8 months ago, let alone 5 years ago. Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
But the thing with Chrissy Teigen is like when she did post these things, she wasn't like 22. She wasn't like 19. It's a few years ago. What is she like? Maybe like in her mid 30s now.
Yeah, but I'd like to think that maybe Chrissy Teigen, because I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of Chrissy Teigen until she married John Legend. Like I was a fan of John Legend, and then when they got married, I'm like, oh, okay, who is she? She's a model. They kept saying she was a model, but I was like,
yeah, she a model, all right.
Well, how'd you know her, sir?
Oh, I know Chrissy Teigen. I like her. But here's another thing too, that the fact that she did say a couple things that were on point. They just were harsh.
I'm not even talking about some of the things that she said were on point, like with politicians and stuff like that. Some of the things that she did say, especially what was the girl from
Courtney or
no, not her. That was gross. But I had no idea that girl was like involved with one of those older actors or something.
She was 16.
She was only 16.
Yeah.
So is she who? I'm out of this. Who?
Remember
who you talking about?
It was Doug something was an actor.
Yeah.
They were on a VH, one of those VH1 shows, couples therapy, whatever.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. That
big boobs.
Yes.
Right. And he was an 16-year-old. She was 16.
Yes, I remember that.
And she was like, "No, it's all it's all good." And
it was sad.
He was controlling. She talked about them, and then that's really what supposedly brought up this whole backlash to Chrissy Teigen is because now that she's an adult, that the Stoddard girl, she was like, it really affected me emotionally. All these vile things that she said about me, whether it's true or not, it really messed up my self-esteem and some of the other. And that's kind of sparked them coming after Chrissy Teigen again.
Yeah. Well, why would she? But again, why would she? Because I remember who you're talking about now, but it wasn't just Chrissy Teigen that was trolling them. Seriously.
No, and a lot of people were. But my thing is, like with Chrissy Teigen, I accept her apology. And especially for what she said. She said she felt very insecure. She was trying to, she thought it was funny because other people thought it was funny. And then she would just keep piling on, especially against celebrities, no matter how old they were. I mean, she went after a 9-year-old girl. I can't remember her name. The Beast. What is that? The Beast of the little black girl. And she played in Annie too.
I don't know.
She played in Annie with Amy Fox. Yeah. Right. She said things, about her. It's like, I get it. But it's not just her. I see a lot of younger people have a lot of tweets or social media postings that come back. And it's like, at what point do you say, I'm not going to keep forgiving these people for doing this shit? I feel like she has definitely shown that she's a much better person. So I really do forgive.
And again, those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones because Chrissy Teigen isn't the only person that has said some vile shit or done some vile things in their life.
About her right now, at this moment, and it doesn't matter who the person is. You still should be careful what you say about people on social media. That's my point. I mean,
especially if you're in the public eye. I mean, if you're in like a celebrity, I guess you got to be careful of what you say.
I agree with you. Even that being said, but I told the story of my truth.
That's right.
A situation that happened to me, and I got so many trolls and people still coming after me saying, you ain't shit. I know that like, oh, why are you trolling him now? What do you want? This and the other. It's too late. Boy, bye. And I was like, I wasn't even doing it for any reason. I was just trying to tell my story of what happened to me. Because people always ask me, like, what celebrity thing that you had that, involved you. And that affected how I viewed, it was one of my first guest stars and affected how I viewed celebrities. And then I had Anthony Hopkins, which I'll say that about him. He was the most incredible person to work with, not actor. But I'll go and tell a story about that, but no one's going to say, oh, why you got to say Anthony Hopkins is the greatest thing on,
Oh, yeah. Of course, you're going to always go for the negative. But even reading some of those things, it's like, and that's the thing too. It's like when a person decides to tell their truth, you have somebody be like, oh yeah, let him speak, but if they like the person that you're talking about, automatically,
it's over.
They're going to troll you. And a lot of things that I honestly feel that a lot of people, when they go after celebrities, they do it with the vengeance of really trying to tear them down, because a lot of it sometimes I feel is actually mixed with jealousy. Now, when I say vulgar and nasty things at people, it's like Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. I do get wrong sometimes, because I talk about Ted Cruz licking and having his tongue all the way up Donald Trump's ass, and I tag his wife. He called your wife a dog. And I tag her in that fucking shit. I want you to read it too.
I don't understand how people how do you wrap? I understand political stances, but even like when people talked about Lindsey Graham, there's tapes of him saying, if Trump gets elected, we're all so and this and the other. It's a horrible. And then a year later, I'm defending it all up in his ass. I don't understand how you can go from one extreme, not like I don't really like him. No, he will ruin this, that, and the other, and then to the total other side of he is the greatest thing that we have for our,
because of white supremacy. That's why. Come on now.
I feel like, especially with with Lindsey Graham, and I know people like, but John McCain would be like, turning in his. This is who Lindsey has always been in my eyes. So him flipping is not actually a flip to me. He just got, I can do this now. I can be more vocal. I can say these things that I probably wanted to say for many years. He's always been a scum, and the GOP is just scum. But that's off the topic. I'm sorry.
No, but back to the tweets and stuff. It's that I'll be vile to, like you said, Shahida, like politicians and stuff that I just don't that I don't agree with. But I don't know. I mean, I liked her apology, albeit long. I liked her apology, and I accept it. So I mean,
so interestingly enough, with comedians, like. If you look at comedians like George Carlin, older comedians that are, in the 70s and 80s, if you can't, have you watched Raw?
Yes.
Eddie Murphy's Raw, though. Now,
he couldn't do it now. Yep.
I mean,
he would be.
Oh my!
Yeah.
They could put that stand-ups out.
It's got to be difficult to be a comedian.
Hey,
right?
Yeah, that was.
You could never get away with that now. Couldn't do it. I'm not going to stand up. No,
not even close. Not even close to saying half the stuff he said. So I feel bad for comedians now that it's not that you can just say what you think and it's funny. Even if it can be funny, you can't even say what you think anymore. You can't even really say what you think anymore. So it's a real challenge for comedians to come up with something that's like not offensive to somebody.
I think Dave Chappelle has kind of got it a little bit because, his Netflix specials, like he's really raw. And when he's talking about current events and, politics and stuff, he keeps it 100. And you could tell like certain things that he says in the audience you can hear like some sort of like audible gas of people that are like, oh Jesus, like what the fuck? And he calls them out. He's like, yeah, like whatever.
Another one that gets it. What's his name? Richard Burr, he's from
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. He's from here. Bill Burr's from here.
Married to a black woman. You know that, right?
I know.
Yes, he is.
He is fucking.
And he's from Southie. Yeah. Shahida, he's a Southie boy.
No,
he's from Boston, but from
Newton.
Oh, he's Newton? Well,
he's from Newton. I'm like, how?
Get married to a sister.
Get out of Newton.
He's funny.
He is hilarious.
He's hilarious, and he's coming. He'll be here. Actually, I just saw something on Facebook. He's going to be here, I think, in a couple of weeks, doing a stand-up here at the Comedy Club in Boston.
Have you seen the the Bob Burnham thing about remember the white girl's Instagram? He has a Netflix special, Bo Burnham.
Oh, I did see that. Oh, I didn't know what that was.
No.
He has a whole Netflix. This is pretty inventive. During pandemic, he taped, filmed, wrote. He's a musician as well as comedian. Filmed, wrote, directed everything from inside of his house, and did a whole hour or something special. And it's all songs and stuff like that. And one of the songs was a white woman's Instagram, which is hilarious.
All over the place.
Oh, is that what you sent us?
I sent that to you.
Yes, that was hilarious.
Really inventive on how he approached it, and it's really funny. I mean, I've started to watch it. It's very inventive too, but you can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything. No. You got to be really careful.
Or you got to be ready to
defend yourself.
Black. I mean, like I think what with Bill Burr when he was on Saturday Night Live and he did that opening and he talked about white women and basically about
he went in. He didn't talk about white women. He went in.
It was the truth, and facts. It was hilarious.
Yes.
He's like, you all were right behind me, egging this shit on the entire time. Now you want to act brand new. Like, oh, you didn't have anything to do with this racist society. You helped build it.
Right. And he caught flack for that.
He did.
He caught a whole lot of flack for that. And especially being here, white boys in Boston were like, what the fuck?
But I think, too, what the difference is like, I think certain classes you really can't go to. Like, you cannot go hard on. You can make jokes about the gay community, but
minorities.
Right. You can make jokes about minorities or the gay community or whatever, but it can't be. You can. I've seen other comedians do it. Dave Chappelle talked about Yes. And he got some flack too, but he didn't, in my opinion, I don't think he was like super insulting.
Well, it depends. People can be insulted over nothing.
Who what?
People can be insulted over. That's the thing about today's culture is that if anything rubs someone the wrong way, you know, you got to apologize for it too, as opposed to, or you're never going to work again, or you're never going to. People they took endorsements away from Chrissy Teigen. You see that? They took some endorsements away from her.
No, I didn't see that.
What was it? But she didn't lose. She didn't lose like Target.
She lost some endorsements. Endorsements.
I didn't think she lost many, but
I'm so over it. I'm over it.
It's a lot of.
I love comedy, and obviously back in the day with the Eddie Murphy Raws and all of that, that was classic shit. And I wish it could still be like that. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I think I hate when people use cancel culture. I hate those two words. Because I think on some instances it's just used like to shut you up completely about something that you feel strongly about or want to talk. And then, they throw in the cancel culture. So then you can't speak on it. Like, I have, like I said, I'm a moderate person, but I do sometimes have like conservative views on things. But I don't use any of my views to try to oppress any group, try to demonize any group of people. But there's certain things that I feel like traditional that I kind of lean more towards. But if that's not what you do, I can accept that. You know what I mean?
But I mean, it's entertainment. It's like, we live our lives. Yes, we all have our different views on certain topics or certain things, or we live our lives a certain way, whether, you're straight, gay, whatever. But if I pay money to go see a comedian and they're talking about controversial things and making it funny, if it's funny, it's funny. I'm not going to get butthurt over.
There's something that I might get a little raw with, like butthurt with. Like if I went to go see a comedian and say his opening act was a white guy and he started talking about Obama and then started talking about Trump in like a very favorable way, I'm not gonna feel that.
Okay, I'm talking about like comedians that I like my black comedians and stuff.
Right,
like they can talk about anything, and I'm gonna be like,
like the character that I did, the character that was on TV,
was hilarious.
It was on TV. I could not do that now, and we won't say what it is, just in case someone's listening.
No,
they pull it up.
It was funny, and I love gay people, so it could have been something like along those lines. So I have no problem with minorities or disenfranchised people, but you could take that and say, "Oh, I can't believe that." But even if it's coming from a place of it's funny and a place from a place of love, and executive producers were both gay.
Wow!
And it aired on the TV. It was on the TV, so it wasn't like. But not now.
Like what was it? The characters would that be offensive today? The characters that the Wayans did on their show, hated it. Would that be offensive today?
Probably, yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You think so? I called you Donna. I'm sorry. You think so, Tanya?
I don't know. I can honestly say that I think that there'd be a lot of things from In Living Color that they did back in the day that would piss a lot of people off. Black, white, and indifferent.
Just look at Richard Pryor. With the Richard Pryor show.
Yeah.
The Richard Pryor show had a black president.
Yep.
Richard Pryor. Did you ever watch on YouTube the Richard Pryor show that was on there for a while? That boy was raw on that show. Did not hold back from anything, and it aired on TV and stuff like that. You can't do that now.
You can't do that today.
Well, they think that, like All in the Family and stuff would probably have a heart.
Oh, All in the Family would never exist if it was today.
It's too raw. It was too
raw, especially of the climate today.
Yeah,
they could never create a show that was like that.
Where the white women at?
Where what?
We're in Blazing Saddles. Where the white women at?
Oh, I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
or better yet, Airplane. When Leave It to Beaver's mother was talking jive to the two dudes. They could never do that shit now. Because they'd be like, how you get this white Karen on here?
Yeah, be cool, mama. It's like that. Hey, man, stop flapping back on the side.
Right?
She said, give me some slack, Jack.
Give me some slack, Jack. I know. The fact that she came up, like the whole scene started when she just walked up and was like, oh, like, I've got this. I know how to speak jive. Can you imagine doing a scene in a movie where two black folks is talking Ebonics or ghetto, and then some white woman comes up or a white man comes up and is like, don't worry, sir. I know how to talk ghetto.
Still be aired. I don't think that's.
It might still be aired. But it might still be aired because it's just, this is the industry. They'd put it out there. Someone would put it out there, but trust and believe, a whole lot of people would be pissy about it. I don't know about like with It's Raining Men, like Men on Film. I don't know if people would get offended by that today.
Oh, they would.
Because I thought it was friggin' hilarious, and I thought it was kind of like
today.
Huh? Oh yeah, because people are so butthurt today. Yeah, they're too sensitive.
I'm looking for my favorite thing from Airplane, which was
the little girl. I like my coffee. I like my.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry.
What? Hold on.
Excuse me. I happen to be passing. I thought you might like some coffee. Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I want you sit down. Thank you. Cream? No, thank you. I take it black. Like my man.
Amen, Jesus. Look at his face.
Look at his face.
First of all, you couldn't do that today with children. Imagine a little white girl.
Wait.
Today.
You all see that movie with the three kids? It's almost like by the producers of Superbad. I cannot think of it. And they were cussing and
yes, I saw that. I saw that on a plane. I forgot the name of it. Role Models. It was called Role Models, I think.
Yeah.
It was called Role Models.
Not Role Models. And Role Models was the one with Justin Long, and they were like doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing.
I know what you're talking about because I actually watched that movie on a flight when I was going to LA. I was going to LA and I watched that, and I literally was pissing myself laughing on that plane. That shit was when they went into the sex room and they were like, "Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's like a workout thing." And I was just like, "Oh my God." And they're like swinging on the sex swing. I was dying. But yeah, they were dropping some F-bombs and they were raw. And I loved every minute of it.
And
I loved every minute of it.
Like that. Two movies.
Yeah.
Oh, like what was the one that Darius wanted to watch? The sausage movie. Did you all see that one?
I heard that was I didn't see it. Was it?
No.
That was a cartoon though.
Yeah. And
it was an
animated cartoon. I'm like, no.
Was it like an R-rated cartoon?
It was
adults.
Super R-rated. Yeah, it was.
Oh no, I didn't never heard of that. I'll have to look that up.
I think it's like sausage.
Is it like sausage movie, meaning like sausage like dicks?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I gotta cue that up.
But he was having sex with like buns. It was crazy.
Oh, what's it on? Netflix or something?
I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore, but it's called Sausage Party.
Right.
I wouldn't mind having a sausage party, but that's
Sausage Party
digressing.
around 2016.
What, Sausage Party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look for that.
You know, that you have that raw comedy that I still think that we still have like elements of it. I do feel like people have tamed down a little bit on like, you know, talking about like gay men in a specific way. But when you do like documentaries and you interview them, they are flamboyant and that's part of their culture. So
some of them are flamboyant.
that's what, okay. Yes. I don't mean everybody.
Well, that's what people would. That's
See that? Yeah, you have to be careful because yes, some aren't. You know, listen, it's got to be tough to have to walk on eggshells, especially being in your industry, Chris, where it's like at any given. I don't know if I can do it because sometimes I fly off the edge and say some shit. I'd be so canceled if I was a celebrity right now. Mm-mm.
But even as like, you know, not being a celebrity, like I said, I try and be mindful of people's feelings. Like, I don't give a fuck about Ted Cruz's feelings because I think he fucked over America. But like other celebrities that I may not like, I try not to, if I don't really, really like them, I try not to even get involved in like, you know, a Twitter, anything on there. I just like other people's shit.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah, I've liked other people's shit, but I won't. I
think about like, you know, I would not want somebody to pull up something that I said that was really, really hurtful to someone.
Yeah.
I said something like it wasn't like really, really hurtful, but it was really flippant to what's his name? John King, the guy on CNN.
Oh yeah, he's from here. You know that too. He's from Dorchester.
I don't fucking like him because he called me out and I was wrong.
Oh, he did?
He called you out?
He did. And I was wrong. And he showed me some receipts of why I was wrong. And I just had to apologize. I had to eat it, you know. So after that, I was like, you know what? Let me check fact my shit.
Well, and just like real world, you know, if you're going to dish it out, you got to be prepared to,
exactly.
You know, take it.
The thing about him calling me out was it wasn't that he did it. It was the people that piled on. Your platform is 10 times bigger than my little, like, you know, thing about like, well, what did you say when Trump did X, Y, and Z? And like, this is what I said. But the way he called me out and like screenshot and then, you know, replied to it. And then all his fans, at the first couple of them, I was just like, okay, yeah, I was wrong. I see that I was wrong. I don't watch CNN, so I really don't know this person. But it went on for fucking days.
Yeah, they don't let it up.
So that's why
they don't let it
up him.
Yeah.
So, but then, like I said, it taught me the lesson. I'm very careful about what I say. I tried.
I wonder what the next, because social media has really revolutionized to a certain point and just taken over in the past, you would say 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
This?
Yeah.
Between, you know, not only that, it influences elections. Now it's so much bigger than what we are. What's the next thing that's going to... Oh, TikTok now. Look at TikTok. As a musician, you have to get your song on TikTok. So
Remember it was like iTunes. It was like, you know, YouTube and iTunes. And now it's TikTok. I don't even know how to use TikTok. I downloaded it and I tried it for a week and I was like, fuck this shit. Too much.
I did not get a TikTok. I can't. I'm not a 12-year-old girl. But now... Everybody.
I'm like, it's not just for 12-year-old girls.
Now it's not.
But
I still, I can't.
I can't. I don't know how to maneuver it. So therefore, I just can't do it.
Work.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I admire the people that can go in there and then like do these little clips. So like, I was looking at I can't think of her name. Anyway, she's a comedian too, and she said it took me 2 hours to do this 20-second TikTok.
Yeah.
That is a lot of fucking time. And it was cool.
If you get followers.
But it's worth it. If you get like 1 million+ followers, now you get paid.
And then like my friend Paige Kennedy just got to 1 million followers. He said, I've been working on this for 6 years to get to 1 million. 6 years to get to $1 million. Now he's finally got $1 million. And also, people will hire you off of your TikTok now.
Yes.
1 million people, 2 million eyes that are going to see whatever you're putting.
Exactly.
And to change the subject just a little bit, I saw on, what was it? Good Morning America or the Today Show the other day. They were talking about, no, it was Good Morning America this weekend. They were talking about creative ways because I guess like jobs with, restrictions of COVID getting let up now and stuff in different states. A lot of companies are now hiring, and now people are trying to figure out creative ways to get hired. And they had one of the Shark Tank guys on there. I forgot his name. But anyway, he was on there and he said the best thing to do right now. And I was just like, what? Like, I'd still just be typing up my resume and emailing and faxing that shit. He's like, the number one thing that employers are looking for now is like Instagram videos. Like, they would much rather have you apply for a job and link your Instagram, and then you make a video of like a 2-3 minute video talking about your expertise or experience. That's it. It's like a blurb. Not where I went, not where I worked, for how long. Here's my skill set. Boom, 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 boom. This is what I can do. And this is what I'll bring to this company. And people are getting hired in droves off of that. And I'm like, well, damn.
I would like to meet 10 of them. Because I'm just saying, I know he said it, but I want to see that in real life, because in finance, and I know, having worked at Goldman Sachs and Bank of America, when you are submitting stuff like that, it will depend on how old that person is that's reviewing that. And I know, especially being here in New England, a lot of these bigger companies are not savvy like that. They want to see paper in front of them, and they want it printed out. I can see on the West Coast.
5 years, for the next 5 years. Just wait. In 5 years, it's not going to be like that.
But they said that 5 years ago.
And now you have some, but that's changed.
It's changing.
Not in hiring. I don't see it in hiring. And
I'm just glad I'm in healthcare, because I'll never be unemployed.
I definitely.
But I didn't see that 5-6 years ago, that they use that as a criteria to hire or not hire. Who has more followers?
Nope. I definitely see that. That's what I'm saying. I wonder what businesses he's talking about, because there's so many. But I know, I'm just going strictly from finance companies. I don't see that.
Because remember, 5 or 6 years ago, that they came out when Instagram and everything was really popular, they would be very careful because I know I was saying it to my cousin's adult children that were in college and getting their shit together. I'm like, be careful of what you post on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, because this shit stays on the internet. Once it's out there, it's out there. And you don't want, when you graduate college, you don't want to go apply for your dream job and then they pull your shit and they're like, you say one thing or you post one inappropriate picture with an alcoholic beverage, or, you cutting up with your girlfriends or your man friends. And they're like, oh, that bitch is reckless. We can't.
But not only that, look at Ellie Kemper. We talked about this thing.
Oh, okay. That's not the girl from
she had her own TV, from The Office, and from
her. Oh, okay, yeah.
What happened with her?
She was 16 years old. When she was 16 years old, she was the belle of the ball for this KKK organization that she did. And after all, everyone went after her, and then she had to put out an apology for something. She was 16 years old.
So that's why I'm thinking, you have to be careful. I mean, I can see maybe giving a kind of a video portfolio of your stuff in certain areas of work. But look how that backfired on her. People just going in and digging up your stuff. those creative jobs, I get it. But like jobs like your medical field, finance, not so much.
Oh yeah, no, I'm exempt from all that shit. Listen, as long as there's people breathing and living, I got a job. I'm not going to do no Instagram videos. I'll be like, here's where I worked. I can do it. I can tell you to your face, I've worked here, and there.
Unless you're an anti-mask or anti-vax.
Oh, and that's why. And listen to me.
Vaccinations or something. You know what I mean?
Listen to me. It's already starting because this is what I'm like. I just put this on Twitter because somebody had posted on Twitter earlier, and I was at the Brigham working, and I had like a quick break, and somebody had posted on Twitter. This woman posted how upset she was. She's a healthcare professional too, and she was like, somewhere, I don't know what state, wherever, but she's like, she's like, my hospital is not playing with these anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers. They are laying off. If you work here as a physician, nurse, whatever the fuck, you work in this hospital, you have to get this vaccine. You have to wear a mask. You have to wear goggles and shit. It's as if we're still in pandemic of last year when you walk into a hospital. And they are starting to let people go. And so I responded and was like, I don't get it. I'm a healthcare professional, and we knew what we was getting into when we chose this career path. Every fucking year, I mean, before you get the job, you have a list of, you got to get MMR, flu, everything, every fucking year. Well, not MMR. But you have to get the flu shot every year. It's a requirement.
Right.
And every year when I get the flu shot, I come down with the goddamn flu. It kills me, puts me out for like 2 weeks. But if I want to stay in this industry, I have to get it. Same with the COVID vaccine. Yeah, I was on the fence, but I'm like, I have to work. This is my job. This is what I signed up for. So I just basically said, we all took an oath. This is what we signed up for. If you don't want to wear a mask, if you don't want to get a vaccine, then I highly recommend that you go get a goddamn desk job.
A friend of mine is at a school, and the nurse was not for masks or believed in the vac. Then she doesn't need to be a nurse. At all. She was the nurse, the school nurse
around children.
And what happened with her?
She went to another job, but she was there for a while.
Yeah. Because in Texas, one of the hospitals,
Texas.
I know, but I was surprised that the federal court threw out their case because it was like, I think they said 99% of the staff got the vaccine, and there was like 180 or something like that didn't want, and they were trying to sue the hospital, and the federal court threw it out. So that's going to set a precedent. If you're going to be in a hospital and if for it to be Texas, like you said, that shocked me that the court stood behind the hospital.
It's ridiculous. Look, anything. If you are let's just take COVID off the friggin' table. As a healthcare professional, that's your job. Period. End of story. If something comes out and there's a vaccine, and you need to take something that's going to protect you from the patient and protect the patient from you, then you have to get it. Or go find another career path. Very simple.
You can't force me to stick a needle in my arm.
Fine. Then go get another job. I mean, it's just like patients. I can't tell you how many patients I've had that have cussed me. They're damn near dying. And they're like, I don't want that procedure. I'm not taking that medication. And I'm like, you don't have to. This is your right. But what you gonna do is you gonna sign this against medical advice documentation, because when your ass, and you can leave. You can keep your Johnny on, and you can sashay out the fucking door. I don't give a fuck, but what you gonna do is sign this against medical advice document, because when you drop dead and go home and potentially infect your whole entire family and y'all start dropping like flies, y'all ain't gonna be suing my black ass. Nor my hospital. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
So to wrap up this hour, be careful on social media.
Yeah.
Yes, watch what you say.
Don't make fun of gay people.
Right.
Or did I just do that?
And kids are expensive.
Kids are very expensive.
And they're
And get your goddamn vaccine. My fellow healthcare professionals, get your goddamn vaccine or go work at the Walmart. Shit.
Go to the post office is always hiring.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
Well, until next time, have a wonderful day.
Later.
Peace out.